This video focuses on the if function, which is a logical function, and we touched on it briefly in class last week. Basically what I'm going to do is enter an if function in cell C39 for the purpose of making sure that the minimum net cash flow for the month that we make the transfer of $900 to the home savings account for the Drake's future home is at least $1,000. The Drakes don't want their account to drop below their regular account to drop below $1,000. So starting out in cell A39, I'm going to go to the Formulas tab on the ribbon, and then in the function library I'll choose the logical functions, and then I will click on the if function, and that opens up the if function dialog box. Now you'll see that the first part of the function is the logical test, and down here in the explanation that says checks whether a condition is met and returns one value of true and another value of false. And it further defines a logical test is any value or expression that can be evaluated to be true or false. So in this case, what we want to do is check our net cash flow against the $1,000 in cell L11. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and erase L11 from my logical test. And basically what I want to do in my logical argument is test whether or not C33, which is where my first net cash flow is greater than or equal to the value in L11. Now, keeping in mind that you're going to copy this formula across, you're going to need to make L11 an absolute cell reference. So I'm going to press F4, and then I'm done with my logical test, so I'm ready to switch to the next argument, which is the value of true. What do I want to have in that cell if C33 is greater than or equal to L11? And so in this case, I want Excel to go ahead and transfer the $900 to the home savings account. So I'm going to click on L10. Now again, keeping in mind that I'm going to be copying this formula, I want L10 to remain absolute, so I'm going to press F4 before I switch to the next argument. Then I'm done with the value of true. Now I'm ready to do the value of false. If the value in C33 does not meet that criteria, I'm not going to transfer any money that month, so the value of false is 0. And now I've entered all of my arguments, So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and you see that the value comes back as 0 because the cash flow for January was in fact negative. So let's go ahead and use the fill handle to copy this across, and you'll see that in the months when the cash flow is greater than $1,000, you get the 900 appearing in the cells where I've copied the if function. In the months where it's less than $1,000, I'm transferring 0. So I know that the function has worked because it's doing what I expected it to do. And that's one of the steps you really need to take with these logical functions, is after you've thought through what your test is, what you want to happen if it's true, what you want to happen if it's false. Once you've got it entered into the spreadsheet and copied, is it giving you an answer that is a logical outcome of that function?